The Costco Food Court Challenge.
Costco Food Court Challenge. Now, there's a lot of different things to bring up in this one. I don't think it was very popular in some senses because a lot of people didn't understand it. And since I'd followed food challenges in that world for many years, this was viral a long time ago. It was really just to show how much food you got for your money at the Costco Food Court. And it became this kind of crazy trend, you know, among the professional eaters and seeing how much they could take down and with little amount of money. It was something I always kind of thought about and I always wanted to try. Unfortunately, COVID is what kind of set me back on this in terms of getting the same experience, because now, you know, we're in a world where the menu had changed. There was a lot less options than there was before. And so it was something I figured I'm in the run of challenges. It was one of those ones I kind of had at the back of my mind that I could do pretty quick. And especially because I went to Costco every week, it was kind of a multi-purpose and a multitask to where I could get my groceries and take on a challenge and just kind of compress that because my time was limited. This is one of those challenges that I just kind of had to put out. And you're going to kind of notice that the challenges I was doing in the midweek were kind of easier, and they were just like probably less editing, weren't as quality. I didn't really have as much time to get them done because I wanted to have these ones out, say, I think it was for Sunday was the weekday challenge. And then my weekend challenge would go out during the week. And usually by like, I was kind of hoping Tuesday or Wednesday at the time. So I was like, all right, the weekend one I can do on Friday or Saturday. And then I can have time, you know, a few days to edit it and then push it out. At some point started pushing things back just a little bit. So I was like, okay, this is taking way too much time. Let me go ahead and figure out a way to change some of this stuff. So I'm still at this point also trying to be more creative, learn more about editing, trying to bring in more features, functionality to, you know, entertain, things like that. So you're going to notice that in all of my videos, and if you go back from the beginning and you keep going through, I'm always trying to incorporate one or two new extra things I haven't done before and just kind of play with them. Even if they're not done correctly, at least I put it out there. And I think the last thing I want to point out in this video too is that something else that was really important and something else that I got, say, compliments on, because I didn't get a lot of feedback, but my friends and family, when I would ask, they would be supportive about it and tell me, you know, what they liked, because I was always trying to say, like, what can I do better? What can I do better? How do I get better at this? And actually through feedback is how I found that people like different things. It was so hard to make some, say, streamlined style, and that was something I was still trying to investigate too, is what is my style in this? Because there was no video that was the same. They were all kind of different. And I was just trying to figure out who I was as a creator and what direction I wanted to get to where I had some solidified branding. And that was what I was kind of trying to chase initially until I we'll talk about that in a little bit, but I came up with something really important that went with the intro, and it was this. So yeah, I thought that, you know, outro was a little bit catchy. I like the music. I kind of tried to make it creative in my own way just to, you know, kind of promote this, you know, whole thing about like, subscribe, share, what everyone on their channel does to just grow the audience. And so it's what I came up with, and you'll notice it. I kept that theme for a really long time because I liked it, right? I mean, that was really kind of the whole point of what I made a video, is if I didn't really like it, I wouldn't put it out there. And it didn't need to be this massive, amazing piece. It just had to be something that I thought, hey, this is me. And that's actually what's going to come up in the next video, which is going to be interesting, because something I learned is that if you're trying to be someone else, it's going to be really difficult. And I had to let go of that. I wasn't going to be this competitive eater. I was trying to be more myself. And that's kind of where you can start to see I'm getting away from food challenges, just because I know it's something that, you know, there's people out there that are really good at them, and I just wasn't. And I didn't have, let's say, the tolerance or the schedule or the flexibility or the passion for it. So there's a lot of things I didn't have in food challenges that I kind of knew. And so I was like, okay, at some point, this is going to have to shift into another direction, which overall has got to be nutrition. But nobody's going to listen to me talk about nutrition, because I don't have any sort of credibility. I don't have any licensing. Who's going to listen to what I have to say when it comes to a lifestyle of health, fun with food and fitness? It just didn't make sense. So I knew I just had to keep pressing on and making stuff that's entertaining, engaging, and somewhat catchy. And that's kind of where I was at this point. But it was a ton of work. I was very tired. I was losing sleep, and it cost me, you know, let's say, conflict and just, you know, there's a lot of things that, you know, that were consequences of spending this much time in this. So